And we're live.
Awesome. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. Happy Lupus Month.
And let's cue up the music.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review, where we come to you live from the Mott Branch Library. And if you're in the area, I guess if it's not storming, come through, sit in the studio, and kind of get a live take on just what we do here at CSRN. So what we're going to do right now is click on our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
Not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own emancipation proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. we come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you are not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, welcome back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. As I said before, we were streaming or are streaming live from Mott Branch Library. So shout out to Kevin, the branch manager. Shout out to Andrea, Teresa, Olivia, Sierra. Yeah, I almost got all the names, Jody, because every week they lay out the red, black, and green carpet for us. But let's get into some introductions. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad, one of the co-founders of CSRN and also an active and registered member of the Nation of Islam. Last week, May 11th, we celebrated the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's 93rd birth anniversary. And it was 12 years ago that Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey came up with the idea of community solidarity. And they asked me to organize a couple of, I think it was protests and events. We did it on a Tuesday, Jody, and here we are 12 years later, still getting it in. Let's get into, what am I wearing today? Today I have on a white linen shirt. I got my black hat on. I got my glasses from Christian Moncrief at Optical, Twixt Between. You can check her out at the corners of Franklin and Bancroft. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter, Justice or Else, and we're making our place for the activist community and in the protest culture where we can claim our space and invite who we want, from Haley Shears to my brother, Coach King, that I met today. This brother has a dynamic app that we want to share with you maybe at a later time, but this is something groundbreaking for all of us in the protest community that felt that some things were too hard. This brother figured it out. So, hey, Jody, that's it with my introduction. I'm going to pass it to you to introduce yourself, what you're wearing, and you got the shirt that I wanted, but it's all good. You could have got two, but it's all good.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, treasurer of this wonderful organization that has been going on for 12 years. And, you know, I'm going to go front load before I say thank for everybody coming and stuff, because I never get to describe myself. I always forget that.
Yeah. And I'm not going to interrupt. Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
But I always forget to do that part because we're not just streaming live on Facebook, which of course is only for 30 days, but we're also streaming live on YouTube, which is permanent. So you can catch all 6 years of our podcast going back, and video minutes going back even before that for at least 11 years. If you want to see the archive history for that, but we're also on Spotify, so you can't see us, and we're not trying to pull what was that, NAACP or the headquarters where they had that one woman that wasn't quite, melanated enough, but she had to look.
Okay,
like
all
that.
right.
But
the NAACP, they right across the hall. Don't have them coming over here.
Hey, I'm good trouble. Doesn't stop me from doing anything.
All right, let's go.
This is why we describe ourselves. So I'm a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and artifacts from doing this for the past 12 years. Actually, I just celebrated 11 years of publishing, being that the shirt that I'm wearing. And I want to give a big shout out to D Brown from D's Delightful Arts. We had our 11th annual Cat Fest.
And what is Cat Fest?
And it doesn't involve cats. A lot of people was telling me that over the weekend, like, is it about cats? No. So a woman by the name of Catherine, 11 years ago, was murdered by her boyfriend. And a whole bunch of artists came together and decided to make this a day in celebration. So out of tragedy comes beauty. And every year we come together at a spot. This year was the Golden Road with artists and music and creatives of all types to bring donations and donate it. You can check on CatFest 2026 to figure out where all those donations go and everything like that. But yeah, it's one of the defining moments in my career because 11 years ago, I had like 5 poems, I think. Yeah. And then I was asked to bring something. I was like, you know what? I'll go write a book. And on that day, it took me about 2 weeks to write my first manuscript. Don't worry, I'm a creative. We do weird stuff at deadlines.
I know. I was going to say, yeah, 2 weeks. It's all good, bro.
2 weeks. I started printing it out at the library. 5 people bought that copy before it was even a published book. It was just a manuscript. I was sitting at the main library downtown. And then I got there. I met Deborah Sue. Shout out to you. And then 34 publications later, here I am. 2 trips around the world, museums and art collections. The hat that I'm wearing is my brand. That's a companion for the book. But either way, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for leaving comments. Thank you for coming on our show and being guest for all of this time. Since we are not trendy, triggering, or toxic, we don't have a platform that is trying to egg people in. We want to engage with our community. So if you have something, I'm looking at you, Village of Legacy. Come on in, talk with us on Tuesdays. It's about 15, 20 minutes where you get to be yourself and say stuff that's not going to get edited out on the news. But with all that said, how do you keep this going with everything that's going on in the world, like Iran and Ukraine and then stuff here and legalization stuff? It's how do you stay focused on your goal? Again, we are BLM. That is the flag we fly under. Don't matter whatever the national team did. We've stayed strong, 10 toes down all of these years without taking handouts, thanks to me, and then all the people. So if you are joining something, try and make sure that they have a good foundation. Our foundation is our mission statement
and the guiding principles. And that's kind of like the glue that keeps all of this together.
Yep. So when me and Brother Washington are no longer in the mics or in the streets, there'll be somebody with a history of knowing what's going on. They're not going to come in here and change us to Our Lives Matter.
Man. No,
but it still will be BLM. It still will.
It ain't like they tried. They
did try. And that is one of the reasons why we came up with our mission statement and guiding principles. So that way, any provocateurs or anything can't just come in and steal our organization or destroy it.
That's right.
That is what some people do. They'll come in, they'll have great ideas, and they'll one of 3 things: either steal them, try and change them, or
they'll vote you out. No, they'll vote you out. All right.
Very careful when you have boards.
That's right.
And this is why I love being an independent, multi-genre creative. Vote for me in that People's Artist Johnny Depp thing. If you would like, I'll leave links and stuff on my page. But either way, here is our mission statement and the reason why we have stood fast against every single storm sent to drown us. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, provoked, attacked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. Leave it out. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
And after this, we hope to get into our Black Lives Matter moments. This is where we go over some of the things that Jody and I have done together over the past 12 years. And I know we bring people on to talk about what they're doing in the community, but man, we got a great catalog of things over the last 12 years that we've done. And sometimes we like to highlight those things. I want to get into our guiding principles. We came up with this in 2015 with a great amount of help from the Movement for Black Lives convening. And these are the CSRN guiding principles. All Black Lives Matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black Lives Matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principled struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
Hey, Jody, before we take a short break, I wanted to highlight something. I think maybe a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, there was a young lady that was assaulted by the police, and Darlene Sweeney Newbern, who was the president of the NAACP, along with us, joined with them to call out injustice. And I want to read a press release from the NAACP. This was put out today by the NAACP Toledo branch, and it says for immediate release, and then we'll take a short break and come back.
I saw one of them trying to knock on the door just a moment ago.
Okay, well, they need to just come on in, all right? We need to put a sign there that says, just come on in. But this is a press release because if we don't support our own organizations, if we don't promote our own organizations, Jody, I don't know who will.
Yep.
And who has the strength to promote another organization on your platform? Well, that's us, and that's what we do. For immediate release, May 19th, 2026, the NAACP Toledo branch 3204 is aware of the recent reports involving the same 15-year-old at the center of our early concerns. Let us be clear. Our position, as well as CSRN's, it says, let us be clear, our position has not changed. The NAACP does not condone violence, criminal behavior, or actions that place others in danger, regardless of who is involved. Any new allegations should be thoroughly investigated and handled appropriately through the legal process. However, separate allegations made after the fact do not erase the serious concerns surrounding the original encounter involving this child in law enforcement. Every person, especially a minor, is entitled to fair treatment, constitutional protections, and freedom from excessive force. Accountability must apply across the board. It cannot be selective. Our call for transparency, the release of body camera footage, and a full review of officer conduct remains unchanged. Supporting due process for a young person does not conflict with demanding professionalism, restraint, and accountability from law enforcement. We will continue to advocate for truth, fairness, and justice for all involved. So I think I already liked the post.
Yep, I did too.
Yeah, and I'm going to
find that again and make sure to share it on our page.
Yeah, I'm going to, in real time, I'm going to put thank you, NAACP, exclamation mark. Yeah, enter. All right, so I love it. I love the president.
And it's currently now on our page as well.
Yeah, I love how she thinks and those who are with her to advocate like this. And this is a great test for us. What happens when something happens while you're doing what you're doing? You know, do we break under pressure? Do we fold? Do we start to consider that all lives matter? Or are we going to stay firm on what we said we were? All right. And so shout out to the NAACP Toledo branch 3204 for staying consistent. They're meeting right now at Mott Branch Library. I think they meet until 6:30. If they're still here, man, support them. Mm-hmm. If you can't make it to the meetings, support them. No one else is doing that organized work. And those of us that are organized and doing things, man, either join us, join the NAACP, join the organization, join the church that's advocating for justice. Man, you can only help by joining up. So you can find in the NAACP at naacptoledo.org. I'm due to renew my membership, and I'm going to renew my membership, as I said, a couple of weeks ago, but I need to just go ahead and do it. You can give them a call at 419-214-1551 and join them in their stand for justice. And there's nothing else that I like to see is when we stay consistent on the things we said that we were going to do.
Yep.
All right. Hey, what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a short break. I want to come back with some community updates. There's the Final Call newspaper. There's the Lupus Awareness Month. And we have the grand opening of Eden Urban Garden this week. Yeah. So, hey, we'll go over the
much more other stuff.
Yeah, and then well, man, we got a lot to cover in a little time, but hey, we're going to do it. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
All right, this is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We're coming to you live from Mott Branch Library, and shout out to everyone that made a difference this week. And man, I want to start with our Black Lives Matter moment. I said that I was, but we got a lot of people to shout out from the lupus awareness month to those that are doing the community gardens. Everybody that's really making a difference. And I wanted to start off with the Black Lives Matter moment. These are just some of the things that Jody and I have done, organized together over these past 12 years. And I think the one I'm mentioning today may have been 2016, 2017. I think maybe 16. This was when Paula Hicks Hudson had to run for mayor, or she was appointed mayor, and then she had
that horrible car crash,
and then she had to run again, and it seemed like everybody came out the woodwork, all right, to run for mayor. We had Mike Ferner, we had Cardi, we had of course Paula, Opal, everybody, right? Everybody came out. And this was our first mayoral forum as CSRN, and I guess I picked the short straw to moderate it. We had so many people there at the University of Toledo. Big shout out to the Black Student Union that helped co-host it and helped co-sponsor it. And I think one of the things that we did, we also took questions online from those online, and also made sure that we had the community support with all of the questions. And this is during a time when you were to ask people, all lives matter or Black Lives Matter. And we asked all of the candidates which one. And I think everyone kind of waffled on that, except for Paula Hicks Hudson.
Yep.
And was Wade Kapsikevich?
Nope, that was afterwards.
Okay, all right.
After she was elected, then for her second term, he
okay. Then he's okay. All right.
Okay.
Hey. Okay. All right. You'll mess up my podcast today. All right, with your politics. All right. That was my Black Lives Matter moment, and we had so many people organizing with us to make sure we had some dynamite questions. Jody, of the things that we've organized together over the past 12 years, what's your Black Lives Matter moment?
I want to say what we just did this weekend, us being involved in Eden Garden.
Oh, man.
That was the NAACP.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, us being involved in Eden Gardening, that's another part of mental health and self-care. And if for all the thousands of people that saw my video, I didn't expect, but then too, I didn't know it was that same day they were doing by outside, I mean, so that post was going all across social media. So, thank you for all the views.
Oh, because you was outside.
I was outside, and I had no idea that was the day that people was talking about that, but I think that's what pushed that particular video of us opening the garden up. So doing that is part of, I guess, healthcare, feeding yourself, growing not just protesting and activism. And we know the world is a horrible place, but that should push you to be more conscientious of what you put in your mouth as well.
Yeah. And, I'm glad you said that, because when I showed up at work today, there was quite a few people saying, "Hey, Brother Washington, do you garden?" I'm like, "Sally, how do you know what the hell I do?" All right. I be trying to leave that place. All right. I will leave that place. I will, put up my Burger King apron and I'm out. So then somebody else said, "Hey, Brother Washington, I didn't know you garden," because I think in one of the videos, somebody was saying, "Yeah, I think Brother Washington's, leaving."
That was me, because you were there for the first take. But just like we have to put the whiteboard on our cameras, when I was going across our garden and switched it for my face, everything went white, and you had left at that time because you were moving cars. So in that, I did get the perfect shot of saying you were gone. And then Sister Muhammad, she gave the perfect sound, because I said, "What time were we open?" She gave that 4 o'clock. So it made it work in that video.
Okay, so everybody was asking me about, where's the garden? I ain't telling y'all because I just work with y'all. All right. But that was dope. And that's never happened before, that what we were doing at Eden Garden. So shout out to Sister Yvette Muhammad, who is our master gardener. So when we call her, we say, "Master Gardener," like Chef, Master Gardener. Is this what we do? Master Gardener, hey, can we quit now? And there's a couple of organizations that help to make our garden opening successful. That was Toledo Grows, supplied a lot of things that we needed. Black Diamond supplied quite a few things that we needed. Muhammad's Mosque, number 91, supplied a lot of the heavy lifting, and all of the gardeners that join us, and everybody that knows Sister Yvette, they got that text, all right, to show up. So shout out to Eden Community Garden, and that's an awesome Black Lives Matter moment, which really, go ahead.
Again, a lot of people forget that, especially in the time of the world right now. We thinking about everything that's wrong and all the stuff that can't be done, gas and everything. But, plant some seeds, save yourself a trip to the grocery store. That is part of, survival and healing yourself, to have time to be out there like Jody's mom and baby boy, just sipping some tea in the garden, watching things grow.
All right. And as you see, we had our opening on May 17th. So every Sunday at 4 o'clock, we meet at the 300 block of Boston. That's right in the middle of Boston. And it's probably the only garden that has the Black Lives Matter sign and a defund the police sign right there in front. So you can't miss it. It's open for everyone to participate, come and help us grow. And the saying is, growing your own food is like printing your own money. Yep. So join us. Also, what I wanted to talk about was,
I'll be helping out with the arts and crafts.
Right. And you did that. And also it's Lupus Awareness Month. So shout out to Rochelle Roy and everyone from the foundation, the Lupus Foundation of America for Greater Ohio chapter, that they had the walk this Sunday. I mean, I guess we had the garden, we had the walk, we had so many things going on that day. But real shout out to Rochelle Roy. She organized it, or she was the main person, the point person for Friday, for Saturday, for Sunday. Whenever I was logged on and I saw my timeline, Rochelle and the Lupus Foundation of America Greater Ohio chapter was front and center and making lupus awareness a real thing this year. And this is the first year that I really got a better understanding of what it is. Shout out to everybody that participated at Ottawa Park. And there's going to be more things. We're going to have Rochelle come back and kind of debrief us on.
Give us an update.
Yeah, on the success of it. and how else can we create some awareness, throughout the year, not just during May, because people that are dealing with lupus have flare-ups all the time, not just during lupus, awareness month. So, so along with the Black Lives Matter moment, that also, was a good thing to be a part of. What I want to do next is I want to talk about this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper, kind of slowing it down a little bit. The headline this week is Peace Breakers and Mischief Makers. And if you want this edition of the Final Call, stop by the Mott Branch Library. We're going to set some out while we're leaving on our way out. And it says, are the U.S. and Israel attempting to manipulate the Gulf states to attack Iran? So, and that's an awesome question right there, because most time people think that a war is when two people don't like each other. However, sometimes war is created to destabilize a whole region. And if it's not money, it's oil. If it's not oil, it's money. And I want to highlight a couple of stories from the Final Call newspaper. And this is from that story, are the U.S. and Israel attempting to manipulate the Gulf states to attack Iran? And this is from the Final Call newspaper. If you want to get this issue, come by the Mott Branch Library or find some of the brothers on the corner selling the Final Call newspaper, distributing the Final Call newspapers. This is from the Final Call. It says, despite a so-called truce in the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran, frozen negotiations, and a nearly stalled Strait of Hormuz, stopping global trade through the waterway, missile fire between the United States and Iran is still happening. While events unfold, a key question is whether the U.S. and Israel are attempting to manipulate the Gulf states to attack Iran. It goes on to say that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam, and its national representative, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, warned Muslim nations to exercise discipline, restraint, and unity, and not allow outside mischief makers to call Muslims to shed the blood of fellow Muslims. And lastly, this article says, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would be very displeased to see Muslims killing each other because of the interference of the mischief maker and the bloodshedder, he added. It says, and you have not figured it out yet. America is the mischief maker. America is the bloodshedder, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan pointed out in part 27 of his year-long lecture series called The Time and What Must Be Done. In the words of warning, he spoke that could apply today to the current issues and crises permeating the Middle East. So at one point, we either got to wise up, or in the protest community, we say, pick a side or we'll pick one for you. Just staying neutral does not work anymore. So this is this week's edition of the Final Call. Pick up this issue. And the last issue, the next article that I want to talk about that's really attached to this is the economic pain just beginning as key index shows more inflation from Trump's Iran war. At this point, how much the war has cost, I think it's maybe $25 billion, Jody, and we're often told that we don't have money for healthcare, we don't have money for education, we don't have money for youth programs, we don't have money to help with the homeless, the needy, and the hungry. However, they could just find $25 billion
for bombs. Bombs is good business.
Just to, at the end of the day, to close something that was already open. At the end of the day, that's what we did.
Yep. We along with kidnapping other people's leaders and causing strife in Africa and all the other stuff. You know, we got all the time today for that, but no time for the arts, for school,
nope.
We got time to cancel PBS.
Yep.
We got time to make sure that education is even worse than it's ever been in the United States, and oil and inflation and everything like that. So hopefully, actually, remember that poem that I wrote a few years ago?
Yeah.
It seems, this is why I hate being a writer, because some of that stuff comes true. Eventually, we'll all be driving Ubers while live streaming, trying to make rent in our 1-bedroom apartment.
Okay, when? I'll be like, you got 1 bedroom? All right. Hey, this is from the Final Call newspaper, and this article is called, what's this article called? It's called Economic Pain Just Beginning as Key Index Shows More Inflation from Trump's Iran War. And that's what we'll call it. It's his war, all right? It says, data released by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics on May 13 showed continued upward pressure on prices caused in large part by President Donald Trump's war in Iran. The Producer Price Index, which measures wholesale prices paid by businesses, posted year-over-year gain of 6% in April, the largest yearly gains since December of 2022. It also says that energy prices, which have surged since Trump launched an unprovoked war with Iran in late February, played a large role in raising wholesale costs. As the report finds, more than 3/4 of the broad-based increase in April can be traced to an 8.7% jump in prices for final demand energy. However, energy prices aren't solely responsible for rising wholesale prices, as the so-called core PPI, which excludes the cost of food and energy, posted in yearly increases of 4.4% in April, since that's the largest since February 2023. Family, at one point, we gotta think that, are we being played? When we elect people and they say that there's no money for the poor, are they telling the truth? When they say there's no money for education, are they telling the truth? Whereas if they decide to have a war, for whatever reason, they just found $25 billion under the couch. All right.
In between the cushions.
Right.
It's that loose change they keep talking about they done lost.
Right. So at one point, we got to wise up, especially while we're entering into another election year for the midterms. What are we going to ask for the politicians that want our vote? You know, there's this thing, Jody, called voter grief. And voter grief is what some of the older people call young people not being involved in the process anymore. At one point, At one point, the political parties have to produce a better candidate if they want us to buy what they're selling. You're going to have to produce a better candidate. You're going to have to produce some better ideas that are reasonable and achievable, and then actually do it. So that's this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. Make sure you get that edition today. And if you don't know, this edition is called Peace Breakers and Mischief Makers. We'll leave a few of these issues at the front desk of the Mott Branch Library. And once again, shout out to Mott Branch Library for being heavily involved in supporting CSRN and the things that we're doing in the community. Before we take a short break, Jody, do you have some community updates that we need to go over before we take a break and come back?
Well, I do have quite a long list of things past and present coming up, so I'm going to wait to that commercial break to start listing them off as we wait on our special guest to come in.
All right, well, let's do that. This is the CSRN Podcast, a week in review. We'll be right back.
I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
All right, we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, a week in review. And this is one of the few times that we really got a chance to give our Black Lives Matter moments from the Toledo Urban Garden. That's another for to Eden Urban Garden, to our first mayoral forum, which led us to other forums in the community that we've been able to do. And I want to get right into our community updates and follow-ups. What are some of the things that you've been a part of, Jody, that people need to know about, and some of the things that may be coming up soon?
All righty. So going back to last week, starting with, we will go with Wednesday. Well, actually, we'll go with Tuesday. Unplugged Soul Sessions hosted by 1983. The band was at Toll House. They're doing this every other Tuesday. Just reading information here. Yeah, I believe it's going to be every second and fourth Tuesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Hosted by Juan Thomas and Maisha Ashford. So if you like open mics and everything like that, Toll House has a new open mic going on. There was also the TRL, or Toledo Listening Room, open mic. That one was at Handmade last week. Not this week, but next week it will be at Black Kite. And they do that every other Tuesday. So you got two opportunities to go out there and let your little light shine on stage in that possibility. Wednesday, May 13th, was the Envisioning a New Age Poetry and Open Mic by Sandra Rivers Gill, a good friend of mine. She had live streaming going on, so shout out to everybody that was able to make that on Wednesday. Friday, May 15th, we had Voices of Hope, a multi-faith benefit concert, and this was at Sylvania United Church of Christ at 7240 Erie Street in Sylvania, Ohio. So on Friday, a friend of mine who did Love and Laughter many years ago, and see, I keep in contact with every artist I've met, or at least try my best as possible. But Kristen DeLane, On My Own Terms, she had her live concert at Miss Eva's in Detroit. So shout out to you. I saw some snippets of that. On Saturday, it was a big day for Toledo because we had a whole lot of stuff going on.
Right.
The 2026 Summer Showcase was going on at the Ottawa Park Ice Rink from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We also had Wicked Palette Studios. They had their collective grand reopening at 151 North Michigan. That was from noon until 5. So shout out to everybody over there. Castello Tierra and all the other people, another person that does great candle making and classes in the city. Also on the 16th, we had the Arts Equity Collective presents Families Impacted by Gun Violence. There was a Zoom podcast for those of you that don't know. The 2 classroom textbooks that I am in, that's by Mo Poetry Phillips out of Cincinnati. I officially joined that board. So now I'm not just have boards here in Toledo, but I have a board in Cincinnati for arts and equity and all that good stuff. So shout out to them over in Cincinnati. I can't wait till our next board meeting. And when I get a chance to go back there, also we had the grand opening, and shout out to Chris Rodriguez, Chili, as most people know him, Contron, and Miller Lite. Call him that because that's what he is on Instagram and stuff.
I'm like, we really getting paid now, but okay.
No, not that, but
all right, okay.
Miller
All
Lite
right.
Candle, if you know him on Instagram. But they had their grand opening from the River East Gallery, and unfortunately, there was a lot of complications, but we did have great openings and stuff like that. So they had their grand opening of the new Mind and Soul Gallery That was from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. If you did miss the grand opening, I know everybody saw all the shots and stuff like that. There will be a viewing or a reception coming this Sunday, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but that is from 10 a.m. to, I want to say, 4 p.m. this Sunday. So if you missed the grand opening, go over on Sunday and shout out and see everything. And then for me, there was Saturday. We had, I am now at a new location. I got my last couple of days at the museum this weekend, but I've transitioned over to the Cliche. That's the name of the club. So shout out to Kenyatta. Thank you for the opportunity. And we had the grand opening with Vito. Everybody was awesome. You could see the videos and all the purple and everything like that. We have our hours going now, moving forward. Again, come into the kitchen. We have 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday. And then Sunday from 6 to midnight. You can check our website. Just type in Cliche. That is with a K. Until it gets more social media and stuff. You just say the word Cliche, click the C off, put in the K, and we should pop up. Our address is 2114 Alexis Road. So now we are operating under normal business hours starting this Thursday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Come in, do your parties. We have a great patio and deck. We got a cigar room and all the other stuff. I'm not going to promote too much, but you'll see it on my page. Beautiful interior, and it is going to be grown and sexy. So no young kids and stuff like that. But moving forward, Sunday, we had, of course,
the Eden Garden grand opening for 2026. And I think we're into our 25th year. It was 25 years ago that, some of the people from our Kwanzaa group decided that they're going to, they're going to kind of expand on Kwanzaa because it appears that it's only celebrated from the 26th of December to the 1st of January. But they thought that, well, can we do something else? So Sister Yvette decided that, and I was voluntold to join, to start a garden on the 300 block of Boston Place. And short story, even shorter, 25 years later, we're still there. So many volunteers, everybody comes together. And this year, I think we've had probably one of our best cleanups in planting times. And Jody was there to put together some of the artwork, had some of the young people come in. We had the tent there, and I think the only thing that I was missing was kind of some drumming stuff going on.
Yep, that's the only thing. We did have drumming one year, and the kids painted, they blew bubbles, they did chalking, the walk and stuff like that. So it was a very beautiful time. I will be there as many Sundays, weather willing and, tire willing, since I am 6 a.m. to 1, pretty much Thursday through Sunday. So I'll be figuring out my new life schedule and everything like that. So if you need me for nightclubs, I have one on the 5th, but after that, I'm not doing any more shows in Toledo or interrupting my nice sleep schedule. I don't have to wake up in the morning no more. So beautiful. No more mornings. But also on Sunday, there was the Lupus Walk. So shout out to
Rochelle Roy
for making sure that happened. Montrese, Hear Me Terry, I saw him out there hosting and stuff like that. He's doing great work in the community with the City Park League and other avenues he's went to, because art and community service can throw you for a loop, but as long as you are community focused, you will always find work. And finally, we had our rap party. So shout out to Opal for the empty seat. We're still waiting on the budget and stuff to go if we're going to go on the road with that show. But we had a rap party and got to see everybody. And from leaving there, I went to what kind of puts me in front of the screen, the thing that made me an author 11 years ago and that started something that has grown every single year thanks to Dee Brown and her vision of putting artists together to create safe spaces out of tragedies with CatFest 2026, the 11th year anniversary. Sorry I couldn't make to see all the performers, but again, busy day, gardening and stuff like that. But it was beautiful at the Golden Road. Shout out to Alex, shout out to Barbie, shout out to Jose. I did not get to see you perform, but I did see some of the shots and everything of your band and all that performing. So beautiful day for Sunday. And that is all I have. There's one more. Shout out to Village of Legacy. That's Tori Easley. I know she had some stuff going on. There was also that Wednesday where we did the, Gutter Dave. He had his live painting sessions again over at Toll House. We did that last year. That's kind of where I got in on my new job and stuff like that. So one thing I learned from film, and shout out to Film Toledo, it's not who you know, but who knows you. That is the biggest impression, because you can know a lot of people, but the impression that you leave on them is something that may open or close doors for you. As I've learned in my career, you can be great to people, you can be mean to people, but it's always those few moments that can be a deal breaker, because the person you upset today could be the person that's the CEO tomorrow, and you might need that opportunity. It all depends on how you dealt with your life in that moment. That could open some doors for you.
All right. Now, I think that if you watch our podcast, you'll see us show some of our supporters in the lower right hand corner. Like right now, we have Black Lives Matter, and I'm going through some of our software, and there's the Survivor Speaks logo that comes up. You'll see it on our page. Could you let the people know what is Survivor Speaks and why is that important for people to know about that?
Well, I'm somewhat educated on it, as I've been doing that for many years. A couple of years ago, we went to DC to bring back, I believe it was $1.5 million in assistance for those facing domestic violence. But the real champion of this push and everything is a guy by the name of Anton Parks. So if you're listening out there, if you know Anton Parks, make sure to give him his flowers, because the grassroots building here in Toledo would have not been possible had it not been for him. We went to Columbus a few times. I actually am one of only two poets, shout out to Courtney, who have ever spoken inside the Supreme Court in Columbus. And speaking at DC and going up on Capitol Hill and meeting people and doing stuff. And this is a national organization, so it's a little bit of everywhere. Toledo branch is still growing and trying to flourish. Shout out to Rochelle Morshaw, who's also a contact through Survivors Speak. The logo has changed a little bit. I think it's like a purple and white now, but eventually I'll be doing it real or showing you what it looks like to eat on Capitol Hill and to actually make change, not just, oh, we want to do some stuff, but it takes a lot. I've been to DC 3 times now for the Million Man March, for this, and then for something else. And it's very different when you get there and you're talking to actual lawmakers and trying to make stuff work. It's definitely a passion project, because a lot of people will not respect you for what you're doing because they think you should be making some money, or think that you should be making noise or connecting to celebrities. And the celebrity is not going to save you from poverty. They're already out. They're just there for their check.
Right. And people always say what y'all should be doing. You know, there was something else that's in our software. This is Optical Twix in Between. And I think that, was it last year? There was a vision camp. What was the vision camp? I don't know if we're going to have one this year. But
well, last year we did our 2nd year of Vision Camp, which collectively bring artists and entrepreneurs and creators and a whole bunch of people together to give kids something to do in the summer that isn't sports, that isn't, I don't know what else kids do during summer, but that isn't sports or telling them to do something conventional. So we brought in creators from different fields, authors like myself, D-Flame Candles, who showed them about making oils and incense and candles. We had, who is definitely a breakout star of this year, trying to get her name now, and I should know that, but
was it Amber?
Yes, Amber, because she's been on Tubi and a whole bunch of movies. I know I've seen at least 5 or 6 from her, and we were trying to get her on the show, and she was so shy. And now she's on the. It's not Ha Ha Davis. It's the other guy. He's actually coming to the Funny Bone. I can't remember what his name is, but she's been in skits with him and a whole bunch of other stuff since then. She just celebrated her birthday, so happy birthday to Amber. I can give them now.
It's not Jack Funny, is it?
Yes, Jack Funny.
Okay, all
so
right,
I saw her in a courtroom skit with them. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to do it this year. From what I know, it might be a little bit difficult, but we will try and put something together for the kids come this July.
All right, for an older person that I am, I think I need to get a pat on the back for even knowing about Jack Funny. All right, yeah, he's from Detroit. And I've been watching different young comedians create those short skits from him. Country Wayne was doing it, and everybody know Drewski. You know, and there was somebody that's going to be here soon. Man, you had just mentioned his name. He's going to be at the Comedy Club. Desi Banks.
Yeah.
So, man, this thing has really opened up a lot of creativity for.
I believe that is Village of Legacy. Tori Easley.
This thing has really opened up a great lane for young comedians, and through comedy, there's some serious messages that are conveyed. You know, but it's through comedy. You might be laughing, but you're like, man, these people know what's up. You know, like the back of our board here. Yep. It might make somebody laugh because it says inside jobs in the deep state, but it looks like Indiana Jones or Descent looking like Disney or Dr. Fauci like Dr. Pepper. Of course, you might get a little laugh out of it, but then you'll walk away saying, man, they really know what's up. So shout out to all the comedians. And lastly, another graphic we put up was for Juneteenth is coming up, or what I like to call the month of Juneteenth.
Yes,
is coming up, and
there's a lot of events,
right? And I think that we may have hosted one of the first Juneteenth events as far as the grassroots organizations and I know that I attended my first Juneteenth maybe in the mid-90s with Mother Diane Gordon at Southern Missionary Baptist Church when I knew nothing about Juneteenth and little to nothing about Kwanzaa. But I was glad that CSRN was able to jump in and kind of update the experience, because I think that some people may not want to celebrate Juneteenth because it deals with us. And if it's not, and this was before it was a holiday.
Yes, long before it was a holiday.
Right.
I actually remember my first Juneteenth was probably, I want to say, maybe around 2012, maybe even before there. The Toledo Museum of Art used to host one.
Yeah.
And then they changed directors and all the stuff, and then they stopped doing it. So we decided to throw one at the Frederick Douglass Center. For the very first time. I still got pictures from that pop up in my timeline. And then we started facilitating our experiences and resources out to other people. So now Alexia Sims has one with Gutter Dave, and that's the Juneteenth Parade. And that is actually this very interesting coming together because both sides of the water, Chiniki, I believe that's her name.
Shanique, yeah.
The other Juneteenth event, the one that did get the LLC and stuff, they're going to be at the first place where they were, which was the grand opening of the Glass City Riverwalk or that Metro Park before everybody decided to re-grand opening. We did the very first Juneteenth 7 years ago. Wow. 7 years ago, right there on the waterfront. So they will be back there too. And the parade this year is going to be extended and going to Promenade Park. So you'll have both sides of the water this year with Juneteenth celebrations going on. And there'll be several others. So if you got any Juneteenth events or stuff like that going on, make sure you let us know, me, Brother Washington, or our page. and we will promote it on the show.
All right. Hey, what I'm going to do right now, I've got a couple other things that I wanted to talk about, but I need to take a short break, and we're going to come back with maybe a couple more community updates and follow-ups. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we're back. If you hear the music playing in the background, it's royalty free, so I'm not worried about getting muted. Hey, family, this is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. Hey, let's put up the pretty protection graphic right there. All right, we did Juneteenth, and Jody talked about Juneteenth and everything. Let's put that up there. All right. We've got our sister Haley Shears. She doesn't have to introduce herself because she's not a guest. We've always heard her talking about personal protection, but man, you've expanded some things and some things have changed. So what's been going on since the last time we've seen you?
So since the last time I was here, I teach first aid CPR AED. I am certified instructor, so I am now doing CPR classes. I'm not only doing them just for like personal, but I have my own equipment, and I'm also I have a couple corporate as well. So and then I teach babysitting classes. So just expanding on that aspect, but I still have the pretty protection and everything else.
Okay, so if you're looking at the screen right now, of course it says Friday, April 17th, but apparently Jody gave me the wrong flyer. I think he'd be hating on me. All right, I mean, just
like,
post,
make you look bad.
Right. Well, it don't take much. All right, that's not a far leap. All right, so we've got first aid, CPR, and AED training by Pretty Protection.
Yes.
What would somebody expect if they attended the first aid, CPR, and AED training?
So the class typically, so my next class is May 30th. So you would expect you can get same day certifications, on hand training, a fun interactive class. I'm not just boring. And then of course you'll learn how to save a life. A lot of times you are the first person on the scene. So learning how to save a life always helps. On top of you have your own family, you can save them as well.
Okay, so if it looks like I'm running through these things, I'm not, because Jody's standing on me like, hurry up. All right. So we also talked about the babysitting. How did that come about, and how would someone get in contact with you if they wanted a babysitter training course?
So the babysitting courses, once I'm certified through the American Red Cross for both certifications, but with the babysitting course, the importance of that is, as we all know, the summer is coming. A lot of times, who is the main babysitter for the children? There's other siblings. So in that case, I'll always tell parents, like, I know, it's, you say you don't have a babysitter because you want to save money, but make sure that your children are prepared to be able to save their sibling's life or save their little cousin's life. Let's invest $65 or $125 into your child, so your other child you can see them on their next birthday. So we don't think of those things, that we have family watching our children and they can't even save their lives if they need to.
And unfortunately, I think we see that happening often in the news. There's a baby that was non-responsive because there was another child there watching a baby. And man, at one point, I've never heard of babysitter training services. So this is something that I think we'll keep in heavy rotation, because like as you said, the summer is coming up. And people may want to do things. However, you need a babysitter.
Yes.
But you may have a child that's babysitter age, but just because it's my child doesn't mean that they know what to do when, crisis happening.
Yes. And it doesn't take away from their love or anything, but let's kind of, let's try to stop that generational trauma. Because once something happens like that, that causes trauma on their kids, on their siblings. It breaks relationship. It breaks up families, things of that nature. So it's just like a simple investment, just like you invest in purses or shoes, or, we invest in going out to eat. Let's take a time to invest in your children so your children can save each other. And then pools. There's pools everywhere. If a child gets into water, you want to be able that you can at least know first aid, CPR. So just simple things. I just want our kids don't have this training, and a lot of other kids do get this training on a regular, but our kids are not getting this proper training. And it's important that our kids are getting this.
All right, now, the last time we saw you, we were talking about Pretty Protection. now we're talking about CPR. And how did that come about from personal protection to training people in AED and CPR? How did that come about for you?
So for me, it was I just wanted to expand. Of course, I have the knowledge of being able to say, "Hey, protect yourself," but I also want to have the knowledge of being able to say, "Hey, save yourself." So protection isn't just having weapons or having that, self-defense. Protection comes in all forms. Being able to save a life as well is great. So it just comes to a point where you have to expand. And as much as I wanted to teach people to save their life from maybe a perpetrator, I wanted to also be able to give them education on how to save their kids' lives and save maybe their neighbor lives or their own lives.
All right. Back to some of the information you shared with us earlier. There was the corporate training package.
Yes.
What's the corporate training package, and why do we need to know that?
So the corporate training package is if you have multiple staffings or child cares. I have a preschool or academy that I do training for. So it's just for larger businesses, just so they know, like, if I have more people, then we do have discounted rates for you. Because I do want everyone to be able to purchase those things and provide these services. Also, we do have payment plans, and we have, I accept like Afterpay and things of that nature. So there's a lot of different ways that you can still take these classes, even if you aren't financially set to say, hey, I can't pay $165. But if you have Afterpay, we can break your payments up into 4 payments, and you'll still be able to get the services.
And it says right here, you have on-site training, so they don't have to come to your site. You can bring all the equipment to their site.
Yes. So we have on-site training. I also have multiple instructors under that can come as well. So if you have a larger group, I have the instructors as well to come to be able to handle larger groups. And like I said, like you said, I do have my own equipment as well. Okay. So I can come to you.
All right.
And I travel.
And one of the things that I always see is, man, once people finish something, now they have to wait for 2 weeks or 3 weeks to be certified. You've got same-day certification. How does that work?
So how that works is once you complete the class, and you'll say, you finished that day, you'll have your certification that day. If you complete everything right then and there, and you're like, hey, I need it before I leave, I can get that emailed to you right then and there as well. So same day, within 24 hours, you'll have your certification.
Okay, and it's hands-on training. You got certified instructors, so this isn't something that I ain't say that Jody and I would do, like we pretend. We wouldn't pretend that we know something. That's what we do on the podcast, but we wouldn't do that.
Not for life-saving techniques.
Right,
Please don't. Please don't. But I'm certified through the American Red Cross.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
All right. Man, so how do people contact you?
So you can contact me on prettyprotection.com. You can send an email through there, or you can email me directly at prettyprotection@gmail.com. You can call me. All of my contact information is on the website. And as always, you can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the social media platforms.
Okay, we're about to get out of here. And for Pretty Protection right now, I know we didn't bring up the screen, but we've got a 3 for $50 mix or match. What do they get?
So you can get a pepper spray. There's 2 different types of stun guns. There's a defense alarm or the comb. So you can mix and match that. It's a perfect gift, especially since children are going away to college.
Right.
This is the perfect thing. Or visit the website and look at the bundle deals. And I have a protection box, which is perfect for someone going to college or anything of that nature, because it has 5 items. So check out the website, check out the sales, and you can always, as always, catch us up on any type of social media.
All right. What do you have with you today? And is it charged up?
Yes. So I have the mini stun gun. So this is one of the 3 for $50s that you can have. So this is just, it's perfect. It's small.
It's got a flashlight on it.
Flashlight, keychain, and it's rechargeable.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about the battery running out, or you're like, oh, I need AA. You just charge it in, and it's the same charger as just an Android phone.
Okay.
So you can find those at the Dollar Tree and recharging it.
Shout out to all the people that's still using Android like me. That's where we get all our phone connection equipment from the Dollar Tree. Thanks for outing us. All right.
Old school Android, not the C Android.
Okay, all right.
And then this one is the runner stun gun. So this is running season right now. And people are getting out. People are out. If you're in the parks, you're running. This is perfect because it fits in your hand and your jaw, like your jaw. In between your hand like this, you just turn it on and goes. So, and it activates it with the palm of your hand. You can't even see it. And it has like a little flashlight as well. This is a great one. I actually, quick story. I know we got to go. Crazy story. I was at my doctor's today, my son's pediatrician, and she's like, oh, I was just out running and I just need some protection stuff. And I'm like, hey, I sell this. So I gave her a quick lesson. And she's like, I didn't even know that they made stuff for runners and protection. So if you don't know, it's out there. If you don't know, it's out there. Whether you get it from me or someone, women, please stop running unprotected and with earbuds in your ear. Take them out. Have one in. Please keep an open ear at all times and no hoods on your head because it blocks your view. So you just have to be protected.
All right, last question. 3 things that you're grateful for, and what are you doing now for self-care?
3 things I'm grateful for are nature. So I don't like being in nature, like the bugs, but I do like appreciating nature. So in the morning, I like to just stand and just feel the breeze and, but once the bugs start, I'm done.
Okay. All right. We'll never have you at the garden. All right. Yeah. No. We'll go ahead and scratch your name off. All right.
Scratch me off.
Yeah, we will
please.
Send you that text. All right.
I'll come and shop though.
Okay. That's what's up. All right.
So that music and silence.
Okay.
I love silence. Jazz. I've been into jazz. So I work with kids. I facilitate a group in the afternoon, ages 10 to 12. And before I go, I listen to jazz. And after I get off, I listen to jazz.
All right. And make sure you check her out at prettyprotection.com and 3 things that you're grateful for.
So, nature, my family, and knowledge.
All right. And would you be willing to come back and talk with us about some of the things that's coming up? If you've got another event coming up or any of the Pretty Protection expansion, things that's happening. This is awesome what you're doing.
Yes, absolutely. As soon as you guys invite me back, let me know ahead of time. I can come and I'll be here.
All right. Hey, we're going to come back with Jody in 5 minutes of heat. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, we are back. This is it's 5 minutes of heat. No, it's not 5 minutes of heat. It's the CSRN podcast, a week in review. This is live. Big shout out to Haley Shears and Pretty Protection. come by, talk about how her business is expanding. Family, it's almost 7:30, and they're going to be flicking the lights on and off. But we got a few things, Jody, that we got to cover before we get into 5 minutes of heat. What are some of the things that's coming up soon that everyone needs to know about?
All righty. So coming up, first off, tomorrow, if you love poetry and open mics and everything, we have Poetry and Soul Sessions with Kay Renee. This is the event that created me. Essentially, before I wrote my first book, that first month of my poetry show, I went. This amazing creator snuck my name on the list, and I haven't left the mic in years. So I will be there tomorrow doing the open mic portion, but we have our former poet laureate, which the contest is going on right now. The Lucas County Commissioners announced that, but Joni McKintry, I believe I said that right, but she's going to be there, and I'm at Peace Behringer are the two features for the night. So if you can make it, it's at Toll House, 7 p.m. This event is still on Eventbrite, but it is $10 at the door. So hopefully I will see you out for Mental Health Awareness Month and all that good stuff. This Thursday at 6 p.m. is the Ethereal Life Drawing with the Contaminator crew. This is going to be at Handmade Toledo. Shout out to my good friend who I've known since the very beginning of my career and everything like that. And that address for Handmade is 1717 Adams, Toledo, Ohio. Poetry and Soul is 1447 North Summit. Also on Thursday, there is studio sessions with Lethal. If you don't know a guy by the name of Tracy Haynes, you might know him from the R&B shows. He's going to be their feature, so make sure you go out and see him and everything like that. That is 4062 Monroe Street, Toledo, Ohio. Doors open at, I believe it's also again 7. So $10 in advance, $15 at the door. Also this Thursday is the artist reception for Israel Douglas. If you've seen photography and everything like that, that is going to be at 151 North Michigan, the same place as Wicked Palette Studios. He has a photo gallery exhibition going on. So it's 5/21 through 6/8, so you'll have until June 8th to see some of her photography and everything. And this Saturday at 11 a.m., 2 poets, 2 books, 1041 North Main Street, Findlay, Ohio. The 2 books are, I'm trying to find it, but I will share the link on the page. Also this Saturday at 4 p.m., there's the Artists Bookie, and it's a book night. It's a night market experience that is going to be at 1505 Front Street, Toledo, Ohio. I've been seeing this across my timeline a whole bunch. That is Saturday at 4 p.m. This Sunday at 11 a.m. is the Vistula Artist Market Spring 2026 edition. That's 1301 North Summit. Also this Sunday, shout out to T Diamond and Boom Click and everybody over there that I've known since my Power 109.9 days. This Sunday at 4 p.m. is the Drop movie premiere at the Maumee Indoor Theater.
Okay.
And then there is a book bag giveaway if you missed Hoodstock and all that stuff, because we know school is about out, but that is the best time to get your school supplies when they are off season. And I'm going to give you the book Bag and Pants, Volume 3, Toledo, Ohio. This is by a guy by the name of Paul Anthony. Saturday, May 23rd, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. This is going to be at the Switchboard on Monroe, 912 Monroe. And then, of course, we are open for our regular hours at Cliche with AK on Alexis Road. So I hope to see you out there and taste some food by me and our chef Reese. So delicious, make you slap generations out your family.
All right.
And that's all the things. Again, check our page, see what's going on. It is 5 minutes of heat time, though. So I'll let Brother Washington introduce me.
All right. If you like what we're doing and you want to support us, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and you can support us via Cash App. This cash tag CSRN Toledo 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. Pick up your Black Lives Matter sign, just inbox us and we will bring one to you. Our sister Georgia Daniels, we will have your sign ASAP. Pick up your defund the police sign or stop by Eden Community Garden and you can see our sign, and that might make you want to get one. And lastly, one of the things that I kind of missed out today is on the 22nd of May, they're having the Lucas County Investment Advisory Meeting. We want to pack the room. Lucas County still holds $5 million investment in an Israel bond, and join us to demand formal commitment to not invest. So join us on the 22nd of May, 11 a.m. at One Government Center, the first floor. I think we'll be in the back. So join us there along with all of the activists that are still pushing forward on this. Now, when it comes to ending our meetings, we don't just end it as anybody else does with Robert rules and we slam down a gavel. We have a way of doing things, and it involves soul and creative expressions. And we come up with this term, 5 minutes of heat, and that comes from the song 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini. Maybe I'll play that on the way home since I know Jody wasn't alive when that came out, to at least let him see that. So for the past 12 years, Jody has been kind of the stalwart on 5 minutes of heat. And Jody, what do you have for us today?
Well, today I have one of my last pieces. I will be writing some more before next show, but this piece is called Moving Lines, part of the Childhood Trauma Series, Volume 3, the therapy book, which is on mental health and wellness from the perspective of the provider and the patient. So this piece is called Moving Lines, and let's begin. Peace. As I've gotten older, I realize I keep pushing the line further back, not allowing people in as I used to when I first started this journey, because so many people have gotten close and fell back. But I don't blame them. I am happy they saw the me they needed to see, because no one ever sees us the same. Some people you'll inspire, some you'll make love themselves better, some you'll make angry, some will see you as an annoyance in the room, and others, yes, others won't see a room without you. It's crazy how the passerby we meet can have a complete life story of just a few seconds of meeting you in their head, and you'll never hear how they knew you. I am more guarded than I have ever been in my life, and I don't know if it's protection or fear of getting hurt anymore, but I keep pushing that line further back of how close you actually get to the real me. My friends know, and that circle seems to shrink every year as all of us keep getting older and finding more responsibilities. Yes, responsibilities we didn't know came with the journey of growing up. I don't know who I'll be to someone today, but I hope it helps their path. Doesn't leave a scar I'll never be able to repair, destroy an illusion of who they thought I was, or cause them more unintended trauma from a stranger they'll never see again. That's probably the punchline of life. You can spend years with someone and never know who they think you are, or hear the silent parts that are never spoken loudly, because everyone is falling apart into themselves, like scattered fragments of broken identities that can never be recovered and only remembered. In peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. I want to thank you, Jody, once again for coming through with 5 minutes of heat. Big shout out to Haley Shears and Pretty Protection. Yeah. Shout out to Eden Community Garden, and shout out to the Cliche.
Yeah.
All right, for opening up and having another.
Shout out to Kenyatta and all the hard work that she's put in over the last year, I believe. If you don't know where that is, that's the old lightning rod. If you're here from Toledo, Lighthouse Bar and Grill, it looks beautiful inside.
That's dope. And as always, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else?
Yeah.
Peace.